y'all. Who's there? Who's there? Who's there? Hey, Geraldine. Hey, darling. I hear you, Miss Cora. Miss Cora's over here making noises. How's it across the pond, my friend? Geraldine is one of my Cincy sisters. And she came and she ordered Cincy from me while she was visiting. I have another one I've got to get with. She'll be here. Oh, she is here now, so I just got to get with her. So she's here until the 30th. Super exciting to me because then I get to make lifelong friends with my Cincy sisters across the pond. I have so many Cincy friends, sisters and misters in Australia, Scotland, Ireland. It's just been such a blessing. So how you guys doing? Pull up my pants, y'all. It is 92, and it feels like 100. And that's what the Weather Channel says. That's not Log Home Mom Talk. And this is Log Home Mom Talk, I'd say it feels like 102, if not more. It is hot, and the air's not moving today, so it's super hot. You know, I don't mind it when we're at the water. Well, typically, if you're at the water, you have a breeze. But even like being in a pool or something, at least you're being cooled off. So literally, I mean, you know, your choices are to stay in the AC. So we went to Disney last night for the Star Wars pass holder preview, which was super, super cool. And I mean, it was just so hot though, y'all. And then you got the crowds, and the crowds weren't bad inside there, except like at the ride and in the stores and stuff, because that's really where people were. But like just walking around, there really wasn't a lot of people. But man, there was people just buying. What they did was, so pass holders, this was an invitation only, and then if you missed out on reserving it, you missed out because they were only allowing so many. And you had time slots and all that stuff. So when you get into the stores, anything there, you were only allowed one per person. So if it was, you know, and I think it's kind of cool because that keeps people from like put it on eBay and stuff like that. So like if you had a Darth Vader statue or something, it was one per person. So that was kind of neat. And they keep track of it through your, you know, magic bands, your cards and stuff. So it's not like you could get one now and then come back in an hour and get another one. So that was kind of neat. But, I mean, they had so many things. We didn't buy a thing there. They did have something really cool that we think we might take maybe Little Man back to, was you could make your own android, which would be like BB-8 or R2-D2. And they had an assembly line. I put so my video yesterday for my chickens I put on YouTube, at the end, I put on a bunch of pictures and video I took out at Disney at the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is the name of the land. And so you go in, it's $99, which is the same price if you bought one, but you get to customize an android. So you get to customize either BB-8 or R2-D2. And I mean, you can do different colors, you can do different, just all kinds of different stuff. And they are Bluetooth and remote control. So it was pretty cool. It was a neat thing. So I'm thinking that might be a neat little thing to take Little Man back and let him enjoy that. So we have passes. The kids don't, but we have a good friend that always, if we ever need to get someone in, she's great, you know, about getting one or two people in with us, like, you know, family and stuff. So, because they used to get like unlimited people, but Disney doesn't do it like that no more. You only get so many. So it used to be your pass. If you used your pass, you could use your pass every day if you wanted on people. You can't do that no more. So they only get like so many a year. And she's super sweet about, if we have something coming up, she brings us in with, or, you know, like a friend, or like not a friend, but like my daughter, my grandbaby, something like that. So she's a sweet girl. She calls me Mama. They all call me Mama D. Mama D. So anyway, yeah, we went there. That was pretty neat. We didn't even buy any food or anything. I mean, y'all know it is so overpriced. A little bag, it was literally like one of the snack bags, like that big of a brown paper bag. Not even kidding, brown paper bag, like that big. The snack bag. And popcorn. It was like sweet and spicy, because that's their whole thing, is like sweet and spicy throughout, no matter if it was the food or whatever. Drinks even, because they had like cayenne pepper, stuff like that, and drinks. And it was $8.49 for that little bag of popcorn. Not overflowing. It was to the top. That's it. So that little bag of popcorn was $8.49. A bottle of water, just a regular old bottle of water, $4.25. And a bottle of like Coke or Sprite or something like that, you know, like a 20, what is it, a 20-ounce bottle or whatever, it was $6. So it is not cheap to go out there. So we ended up not buying anything. But they did have, which I love now, they have water stations everywhere with like, so instead of just water fountains, because, you know, I hate using those things. First of all, they are disgusting. But second of all, let me make sure Emma didn't go out. Hang on. Emma! Okay. So then they had water. So they had water fountains, which was really cool. So they had the fountains, you know, low and high like they always do. But then they had a water bottle filling stations throughout. So that was really cool. And those are free. So, and even at Disney, if you go up to like a restaurant or a place of food, snack place or whatever, and you ask for water, they'll give you a glass of ice water. So that's free too. I don't think a lot of people realize that. It was so funny. One time we went to Disney, and so they'll give you all you want of a glass of ice water. I mean, I can walk up and ask for 6 of them if I want to. And so we go up to a stand. I took my nephew. He wanted a churro, which I have no problem. So I got him a churro. It's like $6 for a churro. And he insisted upon a bottle of water. He wouldn't take a free glass of water. And it was not even, the lady said, these aren't cold yet. They just brought them over. And he goes, that's fine. I should have done the right thing and been like, you know what? You can go get you some water from the fountain. And we had just went and got like, you know, 6 things of water or whatever from, you know, and it's free. Water's free. $4.25 I paid for him a bottle of water. I don't even think he drank it all. Those are things I wouldn't have done for my kids. So it's so funny how you do things that I wouldn't do that for my grandbabies. It's like, no, we're going to go get some free water. I'm not paying $4.25 for a bottle of water. I mean, that is absolutely insane. I'll pay a couple bucks for a bottle of water. $4.25, that is ridiculous. Ridiculous. So it was really super cool though. I mean, you really felt like you were in like a desert, another land, and all the like, I don't want to say graphics, whatever it is, architecture and all the vehicles and stuff they had there, they were really awesome. And let me tell you what, Chewbacca is real, y'all. Like, I am like studying him in the eyes, the lips. It is real. I don't know how they found a hairy human like that. They've been on, there is where Mr. Ape Man is. Bigfoot. He's working for Disney World. So I'm like, I am this close to Chewbacca, and I'm like, how in the world? Because that is some real lips. That is some real eyes. I mean, it is perfection. Perfection. Chewbacca is probably my favorite Disney character because he's just real. Dying. Had to have been dying. Everybody out there working at that had to have been dying because their outfits are very Star Wars. So it's like lots of wool, lots of layers, the workers even, belts, you know, so like 3 or 4 layers of wool. But they did give them these really cool woven scarves almost that they wore around their neck, but then they went over their face to keep the sun because, man, it is blaring out there. So I thought that was really cool. So they made it part of their costume. So that was really neat. But it was a cool little land. It's pretty neat. I mean, I'm not a Star Wars fan. I don't know much about it. I know Chewbacca. I know R2-D2. I mean, I know things like that, but I don't know too much about all the other stuff. And it was really neat. So I was impressed. But I mean, you could see people were like geeking out. So it was neat. It was really cool. So let me see what y'all are saying to me. Ah, hello, Christy Lynn. Hello, Jan. Oh, I wish I could say it. Same here, darling. We had a couple of nice days, and now it's just. Hi, Pat. Hi, Sherry. Yeah, you can get a 24-pack of water for that. Isn't that the truth? Oh, my goodness. So, I have some excellent news. So, I've been working with my girlfriend, Miss Cora. Hey, darling. You got a little bulge there. What you got going on? What'd you eat? What'd you eat, girl? What'd you eat? What'd you eat? Her crop's right there. I can feel it warm, and she's got a little bulge going on. She must have eaten something. So, my girlfriend, she's actually one of my daughter's friends, and she's an animal trainer, and she has a pet monkey, y'all. I think he passed away, but she had a pet monkey. And so she knows lots of, other animal people and stuff. And I put a picture of Mr. Mosley up on her wall for her. She's like, put it on my wall because my friends will see it. And I'm like, okay, great. So I probably put that on a week ago, I'd say. What's the matter, Miss Cora? You want down, baby? So always make sure you grab those wings, y'all, or you will be beat to death. So I put it on probably about a week ago. And I saw her last night because she sells Scentsy also under my daughter. Sweet lady. She got a little baby. And saw her last night, and I didn't even think to mention Mr. Mosley. Was so busy. We got back from Disney and all that. So she messages me today, and she sends me a screenshot of a gentleman and his phone number. She goes, call him. I think he is interested in Mr. Mosley. And it was made quite clear that he could not be food. So I give him a call. His name is Carlos. He is going down to the Keys tomorrow, and he'll be back on August 31st, but he is taking Mr. Mosley. So he lives on the other side of town from us, and he's got 5 acres. He has a bunch of hens, and he's got 3 or 4 roosters, and what he does is he sets them up in little condos, and he breeds them, and he incubates eggs himself, and he sells them. And so Mr. Mosley will not be food. He said, you don't eat roosters anyway, and so he's gonna, as soon as he gets back, he's gonna come and get Mr. Mosley. So I am like super thrilled that we have found a home for him. It makes me super happy. I just got to figure out how I'm gonna handle these girls, because when Mr. Mosley isn't in here, then Miss Cora and Miss Mary and even I've seen Miss Rose, they are all very top hen. So they pick on Miss Isabel. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna handle that when that happens. I might have to separate half of them just for a little while to see if that remedies the situation, because I don't want the other girls getting beat up on, because Miss Isabel, she's really, thank you for pooping, Miss Mary. Miss Isabel really gets beat up on it. I mean, she cries, and she sits up on the roost because she's afraid to come down because they're picking on her. But it doesn't happen when Mr. Mosley's in here. He calms the girls down. So, I got to figure out how we're going to handle that. So, if y'all have ever had to handle chicken bickering, let me know. So, I'm going to see what I can do. Because, Miss Cora's big, and I've seen Miss Cora grab Miss Isabel in the back, feathers, and just pull them out. She'll grab them and twist and pull. And so, I don't want my girls getting beat up on. If I have to, I'll put I might go ahead and do it as soon as we get rid of Mr. Mosley, is put one of the saddles on Miss Isabel, because then Cora wouldn't be able to pull her feathers like that on her back. So maybe it'll deter her a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Hey, Miss Rosie. That's Rose. She's going and looking at me. She says, where's my food, Mama? Where's my food? Hey, Miss Rosie Posey, come here. I know. There's Miss Rosie. I know. So you got to get those feathers, those wings under control, or they will beat you to death with them. They're the sweetest little things. Hey, Miss Rosie Posey. So if y'all been following me, Miss Rose is like my sweetest. She's a lover. So she was doing great until Mr. Carson got so bad, and then once he was gone, she's went back to being a little bit of our lover still. And hopefully when Mr. Mosley gets gone, we'll be doing good. But we'll probably end up then now getting some more hens, because some more babies in the fall, because we'll need some more, and then that way we don't have to worry about Mr. Mosley anymore. So, and to think he's going to be bred. How cool is that? All right, Miss Rosie Posey. All right. There you go. Okay, so let's see what we got in the way of eggs today. So I got my baby lizard up here. Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Say hi to everybody. He's been here every day for about 2 or 3 weeks now, except one day he wasn't in here. I was a little worried. I'm like, uh-oh, they ate him. But that's a baby. I can tell by how little he is. He's skinny. I think Miss Cora sees him. Miss Cora's like, just give me the food. Stop talking, woman. Oh, goodness. So we have 5 eggs. So everybody but one of my Easter eggers didn't lay. And honestly, it's probably Miss Isabel because she's being picked on so badly. Oh, see that? Miss Mary just went after her. Miss Mary. No, 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 no. No, Miss Mary. Hey, Miss Cora. Hi, Miss Violet. Hi. So we got 5. So that's great. And so I was not going to tell y'all what Log Home Dad's procedure was that's happening tomorrow, but he decided, he told y'all, which I'm shocked because he's usually pretty private about that. He's been pretty good today. So every time he gets hangry or a little salty about having to go tomorrow, I remind him. So I think he's consciously trying to be a good boy. So if y'all didn't watch us live yesterday, I'll put a post on in the morning for y'all to pray for him because he had to be under when he had his vasectomy. Log Home Dad had his vasectomy 25 years ago. 25. It was right after our little one was born, and the doctor did not want to do it because he was still young. You know, he was only 25, and the doctor did not want to do it. But we assured him we didn't want any more kids. Well, lo and behold, about 10 years later, we wanted more kids, but that didn't happen. So, should have listened, but we were young and ridiculous. So anyway, he was kind of, he wasn't all the way put under, and I think that's what they're doing tomorrow when they do this. So, he is going to be a little under. Well, I mean, a lot, he'll be out of it. I don't think he'll really realize. He's got to be coherent enough to be able to move because they'll have to move him around to get different angles and stuff. So if y'all didn't see, he's having a I can't even say it, colonoscopy, or I can't even say it, y'all. So he's 50. How old is Log Home Dad? 52. And this is just a baseline, so it's not like there's nothing wrong. They'll kind of, I guess he's at the age where they want to do a baseline on him. And so he's nervous, of course, but I think he's more upset because he can't eat. And it's funny because they give it, so the surgical center sent us this list because we have to have an anesthesiologist, all that stuff. So they send this list of Miss Anna. You got too excited, baby. Okay, there you go. So I gotta fix that. It's a little hangy. So they send this list. Let me turn you around and let me fix her. So they send this list of things we have to do and things he can and can't eat, all that good stuff. Her little let me show you here what I'm doing. So she has her bra on and it's kind of hanging. It's sagging, so I gotta tighten it up a little bit. So they send a list of what he can and can't eat. They said he couldn't have breakfast, lunch, or dinner today, and that no dairy, no pills other than, I forget what it was, but it's something he doesn't take. He only takes a pill for his thyroid. And so the doctor's office called this morning about 11:30, and they said, okay, we want to make sure that you got all the stuff. You're ready to go. You're going to be here at 11:30 tomorrow. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Hold on, Miss Anna. Hold on. And so as I'm talking to her, I said, but I'm telling you, my husband's a little salty. He is not happy about not being able to eat and all this stuff. And she goes, what do you not being able to eat? And I said, well, the thing says he can't have anything all day and he can't have breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and something about his pills, and in the morning he can't have nothing, not even water to take his pill. And she's like, can you bring that paper to me? And I said, sure. She goes, I'll be there in the morning when he gets there. And she said he could have had a light breakfast this morning. He could have had a coffee with his whipped cream, and he can absolutely take his pill. He can't have anything to drink or anything, because he can have like Jell-O, popsicles, stuff like that. He can't have anything after 7:30 in the morning. So this thing said he was done like at midnight and all this. So Log Dad could have had a light breakfast this morning, and he could until 10:30, and he could have had his coffee with his cream, his whipped cream and all that. So he's going to be on a major fast. So we'll see. So he's going to have broth tonight. And I'm looking back at y'all. Love Miss Cora. Yes. So he can have all that stuff tonight. So I've got him like broth. We went and got broth. We got popsicles. We got, he can have hard candies. So he starts the regimen of like, he's got to do Duralax when he gets back from his job. It was supposed to be at 3. And I told the lady, I'm like, he's got a job at 3. And she goes, oh Lord, don't let him take it while he's at his job. So he's going to take it when he gets back. And then he has to drink like, it's a lot. I forget how many grams. It's like 4.1 ounces into 64 ounces of Gatorade of Miralax, the powdered stuff. So I divided it between 232 ounces, and they're in the fridge right now waiting for him. So he is not looking forward to that. But he's got to do that. And then tomorrow morning at 11:30 is his actual procedure. So he's pretty nervous about it. So Sherry, on Miss Violet here, this is a saddle. And what happens is, and like Miss Anna's wearing a bra. So what happens with the saddle is if your hen has been, like losing feathers on her back, which can happen for a lot of reasons. It can happen for the rooster being on top of her, which is when it started, and it wasn't Mr. Mosley, it was Mr. Carson. And then it can also be, maybe a bullying hen, but it also can be a hen that's Brody, and she's pulling out feathers so that she can build a nest. So she was very thin in the back, and then what happens is once they get thin, not trying to be mean or anything, but the other hens will peck at her because they just see something shiny, and they want boredom busters. So hens will peck at chickens in general will peck at anything they see just as a boredom buster. So she's got that on until her feathers can grow back in. And I actually took it off of her about 2 weeks ago, and about 2 days later I put it back on her because someone was pecking at her again. So I don't know if it was Mr. Mosley getting on top of her, or if it was one of these girls being ugly and pecking at her. So she has got it back on until it grows back out. And so that's what I was saying about Miss Isabel in there, that they've been picking on, because I've watched Miss Cora and Miss Mary grab her in the back and twist her feathers and pull them out, just being mean. So I'm thinking that when Mr. Mosley goes, I am going to put a saddle on her just to keep the bullying down a little bit, because they're not going to be able to just grab her back like that and pull feathers out. So I think that's what I'm going to end up doing with her. She's a sweetie. So, right, Miss Mary? Hey, Miss Mary. Hey, Miss Mary. So lots of fun. And then Miss Anna is wearing a bra. So Miss Anna has a pendulous crop, which means her crop muscles are gone. They're deteriorated. And that can be for a lot of things. It can be hereditary. And I'm almost thinking hers is hereditary because I went back at pictures and looked at her, and I just thought maybe she had a different shape to her when she was little, but she was only about 4 weeks old and she had that kind of hanging. So that crop hangs, and the crop is where all the food goes and kind of hangs out there until it's digested. And when it hangs like that, it can't digest. It's not up, and it can't go straight down and digest. So it will eventually kill her. I actually thought she was going to die about a month ago. And when they eat, they just gorge themselves because they really can't tell that they're full because that crop is hanging. So the bra causes her crop area to be very raw, not raw, but there's no feathers there. Sand gets in between the two and it rubs her, but it's better than it just hanging. So I have found, I hate having the crop on or the bra on her all the time, but it's better than that crop just hanging, her being able to fill it up. Like right now, it doesn't have a lot in it, her crop. So Anna probably won't live very long, even with the bra on. It's just because it's something that can definitely kill them. And they basically, they get lack of nutrients because their crop doesn't hold up straight like a normal crop. So like her crop is completely straight. Her crop is up here. It's more like at the base of their neck. And after they eat, it should be full, but hers literally would be hanging so much that she couldn't even get out of the coop and stuff like that. And so now, as you can see her, she's not happy with it. I made it tighter on her. So, but she's been living with it pretty good. She's adapted really well with it. And at least she's alive. She's a sweetie. She can't get in the box, the laying box to lay eggs, because it's not so bad for her to get up there, because she can get up and down from the roost just fine. It's her getting out. So she doesn't lay her eggs, like her crop looks really good right now. She does not lay her eggs in the box. She lays them underneath the board. So I know just to look under the board every day to see if there's an egg, or look in one of the corners to see if there's one hidden. And she's such a sweetheart. She's like my doll. So that's Miss Anna. So if y'all, if you've been following me long enough, you know, and that's what I was telling Carlos today when I talked to him about Mr. Mosley, all of my chickens are named after Downton Abbey characters. So Miss Anna's probably one of my favorite Downton Abbey characters, and Miss Anna is definitely my favorite hen. And I think because, even though Rose is such a sweetie, I think because she needs me more than the others. So, but Rose reminds me definitely of the character on Downton Abbey. She's just flamboyant and sweet and loving. Everybody loves Rose. So their personalities kind of match. And like Miss Cora's my head hen, and she's the head of, and I picked their names when they were tiny little chickens. And I did that so I would remember who is who from then on. So Miss Cora is definitely the head hen. And Miss Mary wants to be the head hen, but she knows she'll never be as big and bad as Miss Cora when it comes down to it. So they definitely have their personalities. But all right, guys. Well, I think I am going to get inside. I got a lot to do. We have a team meeting on Saturday, so I got to get my house in order. I've got to get a bunch of stuff done for my team. And we got quite a few people coming. I think we got about 20 of our team coming on Saturday. So I got to get a lot of stuff done today so that tomorrow, because I'm going to be gone for probably about 3 or 4 hours. And then, of course, I'm going to be taking care of Log Home Dad after that. But I love you guys, and I will be right back here tomorrow at some point. I'm sure it'll be late afternoon. I hope you guys have an amazing evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, y'all.